I craft everything.
Hi everyone, my name is Tasha from iCraftEverything.com, and today we'll be learning how to craft stickers. Now there are a couple of different ways that we can do this. Today I'm going to start out in Canva and then mosey over to Cricut Design Space, and we'll go from there. So as you can see, I'm on the front page of Canva, and on the top right hand side there's a purple button that says Create Design. I am going to choose to create an Instagram post, which will open up a window on another screen. I already know which file I'm going to use. It's already been downloaded into the Canva software. So once that comes up, I'm going to click on the file that I'm choosing to use, and I'm going to import it to the project. In this case, I'm going to scroll through some of my items just to locate it. Alright, so for this particular one, I'm going to put the texture queen in there and extend it to the size that I'd like her to be. And I think this is the only one I'm going to add for now. I'll do the other one in Cricut Design Space, so no worries there. So I'm going to click the button on the right hand side that says share, and I'm going to go ahead and download this item. It is going to be downloaded as a PNG, but there are several options depending on which way you'd like to upload this into the Cricut software. You can use a JPEG or a PNG or an SVG if you have one. It doesn't matter which one. My personal preference for this project though is a PNG. So as this project downloads, I'm going to wait until that go ahead and go to the to the download folder. And I'm going to mosey over to Cricut Design Space. As you can see down here, my particular download is uploading in the preview section, and it should open in just a minute. While that happens, I'm going over to the upload section on the Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to click the box that says upload on the left hand side. Has an arrow and is the second emblem on the left hand side of the screen. So as you can see, my item has downloaded successfully. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. I don't necessarily need to see that in order to upload it. And I'm going to go in my download folder and upload that into the Cricut software. Alright, so it's going to give me a hard time, as you can see. But once you can get that folder pulled up in the upload section, then you go ahead and upload it and drag it into the space. In the meantime though, since that's giving me a hard time, I'm going to go over to my uploads and try to find one of the two items that I'm going to be working on today. So I'm going to be doing two stickers. I purchased these particular stickers from a vendor. However, I'd like to see if I can duplicate them on my own. So I'm choosing this doll here, and now my download box wants to come up. So we're just going to give it a second to pull everything, but if you're impatient like me, you can let that work in the background. So I'm going to choose this particular doll, and I'm going to go to the bottom right hand corner and click add to canvas. That's going to put the first doll that I'm choosing to upload in the Cricut Design Space software. While that's uploading, I'm going to go over to check the status of the other download that I have just had from Canva to upload. And of course, that is coming up and still loading. So as you can see, my doll is on the screen here, and I will be clicking on the lock button here to change the size of this particular doll. In this case, I'm going to make her 2.25 by 3. So let's go ahead and update that in this section here and click the lock to accept the changes. So this is what the doll will look like for me. I think I would like to try what's called an offset on this particular item. So an offset in the Cricut Design Space software is a box that goes around the item. As you can see, a little turquoise box has popped up around the item. You can take this slider and make that as big or as small as you'd like it to be around the item. I'd like it to be fairly tight, so I am going to move that to my liking, and I'm going to click apply. As you can see, it made a black box around my doll. I'm going to change that white, and I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and I'm going to flatten that so that when it cuts those together. Now I'm going to go in the background and see if my other project has pulled up, and it looks like it did. So I'm going to scroll up to the upload button, click on upload, go find my project, and I'm going to click and drag it here. As you can see, that item is now in Cricut Design Space. You would click on the button that says complex and hit the continue on the bottom screen. In this situation, I do not want that white box around, so I'm just going to click in that space, and as you can see, it gave you like a purple and white checkerboard section, which means that it is now transparent, which means you will not see any of that background. So I'm going to click apply, and it's going to take me to the page where I can select a print and cut image, which is the one on the right, or a cut only image, which is the one on the left. In this case, we're doing a print and cut, which means we would like it to appear just the way we see it on the screen here. So I'm going to name this design Texture Queen, and I'm going to click upload on the bottom right hand side of my screen. Now that image is inside of my software, so I'm going to click to add that to the canvas. And as you can see, that pulled up exactly the way we saw it on the screen. So now I'm going to go up to the lock section, and I'm going to change the size. In this case, the lock is already open, so we are going to size her to 1.83 by 3 inches, and then we're going to click the lock button. Same with this one. I'd like to have an offset around. Let me scoot her over some so you can see that offset come up. And there's going to be a box that goes around it as soon as the computer system finishes working on that for me. Okay, so I'm going to click on this particular doll, and I'm going to click the offset button. You'll see that box pop up around it, and you'll make that as tight or as loose as you like it to be. In this case, I'd like it to be fairly tight, so it's going to look like this, and we're going to click the apply button. As you can see, that turned it black. I'm going up to the color square right here, and I'm going to make that white. And next step, go over to flatten, and you'll see that that white box is now around that particular item. So now we're going to click on the make it button, and as you can see, both dolls are there. I'm a person that doesn't particularly like to waste paper, so I would like to duplicate that about 3 more times to see if I can get enough to fit on one sheet of paper. So you'll go over to the right hand side of the screen where you see the button that says duplicate, and click to duplicate it as many times as you see fit. In this case, I'd like all of those to appear on one sheet of paper. As you can see, I can fit about 6 dolls on one page, so I'm just going to hit cancel and go back, find 2 of these beauties, highlight them with the gray box like so, and hit the delete button on your keyboard. Scroll back over to make it, and as you can see, those beauties are now on your page. Looks like I might be able to fit 1 more on there. Depending on the size of your stickers, this may or may not vary. Let's humor ourselves and try it and see what happens. Alright, so I can now fit a total of 7 dolls on one page. Alright, so you're going to hit continue on the right hand side green button. In this case, we're going to send it to the printer. Adding a bleed to your print is optional. Grab your sticker sheet from the printer. Once it's done, mosey over to the Cricut Machine and press open on the left hand side. Grab your blue Cricut mat and line the edge of your sticker paper along the lines of the squares on the mat. Be careful to make sure it's lined perfectly so the machine will register the marks perfectly when you're ready to cut. Grab your clear vinyl, removing it from the white paper and flipping it over to attach it to the stickers. I like to apply mine directly on top of the stickers inside of the squares, but you have the option to line it on top of the square if you choose to. Be careful that there are no bubbles and make sure that you wipe as you pull down the vinyl. Take your Cricut mat to the machine and place it in between the two grooves. Press the first button underneath the big gray button to move the machine. Be sure to keep your hands out the way. Press the blinking C on the machine to get started with the cut.
Slap boy. I can't even see me.
By now your sticker should be finished cutting. Press the blinking arrow on the Cricut machine to release the mat from the two grooves on the machine. Take a look and see if your stickers have cut all the way through. If they haven't, send them to the machine again. That step is optional. And voila, you have created a set of glossy stickers. I'm pulling each one of my stickers up gently and placing them to the side. They look so cute. If you take a look, you can see the one on the left is the one that I purchased from another company, and the one on the right is the one I created. I'll show you another example of one that I purchased versus one that I created. The one on the left was purchased from a sticker company, and the one on the right we just created. They're different in texture and color because of the sticker paper and clear vinyl we used.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.